Don't know. I think we're back. It looks like I'm back. Okay, hi. Who knows? Something was weird. Mystery hiccup, apparently. Ooh, actually, I bet not a mystery hiccup. I know what happened. I know exactly what happened. I was closing down my Twitch test, and I bet it started to run a new test when I was closing it down. And so, because I was checking to see how the weather on the internet was, you know, see how we would do today, and I bet that's what it was. But we're back now. Woohoo! And of course, I didn't start the Chronos countdown. So down to 10 minutes. There we go. Now we're back. How's everyone doing? So yeah, for New Titans. So Booster Gold and my Green Lantern mug. Who gets the joke? Who gets the joke? I'm not the Green Lantern. Anyway, sorry. I'm a big geek. I admit it. 100%. I take absolutely. See, there's someone who's with me. Thanks, Titan. Yeah, I guess there was some episode recently in one of the new animated series that I don't watch or follow, where Booster made an appearance. So I figured, throw on the old Booster Gold baseball jersey. Why not, right? There's an episode where no one recognizes him and everyone keeps calling him the Green Lantern. Even though he wears blue and gold. Don't know. It was really random, but it's like the one line that everyone knows of Booster Gold's, which is, I'm not the Green Lantern. Anyway. Got a fun episode coming up. We had a great scene. For those of you who haven't seen it, there is a highlight up and available of Luna and Lux scene at the end of last episode. Man, was it ever beautiful. I mean, I'm spoiled. I'm spoiled rotten by my players. What can I say? Spoiled rotten. I am. And wouldn't have it any other way. I really don't have a whole lot of notes prepared for today because these guys are going to be on the road. And, yeah, basically just have a whole lot of on the road right now. So we shall see. Let's see, pages from the past. I need that open. Yep, there it is. Just a few things there, a few things here to copy over to there. Yeah, we'll just see. We'll see what all they have. I guess I should get up treasure and stuff because you guys might make donations and things. We're having a great drive for Toys for Tots already, so that's cool. About 46% of our way there, so that's awesome because you guys rocketh. Treasure we might need. Bet we'll need scrolls by level. Gonna need custom magic charts up because they do those things too. And I guess the other stuff we're just gonna grab when we get it. How's everyone else doing out there? I had a great fun this week playing WoW with all my friends, everyone who stopped by, and especially a big cheer for Solo Q and WoW Kate and Danny last night, who helped out getting me through some stuff, and Wandering, who's joined us on our server. I might want to do some questing with you later, man. Make a low level and come down and hang out. I want to come hang with you, man. And yeah, ooh, wow, that tea's getting really strong. Had some strong tea there. I didn't take my tea bag out. Don't mind me that I sit here and sip my tea. I know we might be able to talk Cockbird and Toma back into the fold. We'll see. Who am I missing? We know Jeanette's not going to be here today. Oh, I'm missing a Kyle. Where is Mr. Kyle? I wonder if he slept through his alarm. Wake up, Kyle! But yeah, so we might have Kyle joining us a little bit late. It happens. We shall survive. But yeah, no, so on the road, the Vice is imminent. I spent my time working on all of the different mechanics for the Vice. I'm thinking I'm probably going to share it with you guys in the Discord so you can see exactly how it works. It is a fairly complex mechanic, but we'll see. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's a 20-day traverse through the Vice. And we do encounter checks every 2 hours of the traverse. And there is no sleeping. There's no stopping. So that's 240 encounter checks. And to make it so we're not doing 240 tactical combats, they are resolved in a myriad of different ways. Hopefully that's not going to TKP my party on, it's not going to be a save or TPK situation, but it might be. Oh, yeah, I'm a little scared. But hopefully we'll get it all worked out. And, yeah. Yeah. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, no Kyle still. Huh? He'll come trickling in a little bit later, I am sure. Yeah, no, so all kinds of fun stuff. I might share that out for you guys to take a look at. I'll probably do it next session. Probably aren't going to make advice to this session, but there's a very good chance that by the end of next session, we will be in the Vice for real. For reals, folks. It's going to be squirrely. It's going to be squirrely. And don't worry, it's not all just dice rolls. There are tactical combats that will happen. I've got all kinds of, we've been hearing about tiger spiders and tumble beasts and some of the other things in there, distracting jackals, the arcane crawlers. Those are fun. The arcane crawlers are really fun. Cuddle Puddles live in the swamp. They missed their Cuddle Puddle encounter, man. I mean, I guess I could figure out a way to put a Cuddle Puddle in the Vice, but the Vice is more dry. But who knows? You never know what might find its way. It might be something worse than Cuddle Puddles. I don't know. We will find out. We will see, right? We will see. I'm thinking that we're probably going to start without our buddy our buddy Kyle. So let's go ahead and swipe over. Let me let the team know that we're about to go live. About to go live. I'm betting that Kyle must have slept in. I sent him a message. Hopefully he'll pop in when he can. And I was going to say, right now he is recovering in the wagon, if I recall. So we'll work it out. But yeah, we're about to go live. I'm going to swap over in just a second. We will see you over there on the other side, folks. Let's see, we are in a 6-camera situation. And there they are. And people immediately start running away. And everyone's in the wrong spot. And here we are. We are live. I was wearing the same shirt. Look. Da-da-da. Hey, that's me at Gen Con.
You were wearing the same shirt.
It's like I just realized it when I switched over. I was wearing the same shirt. Let's see. Danny.
Live from Gen Con.
Live from Gen Con. Get everyone to their normal spots. And yeah, so let's go around and introduce ourselves. Let's go ahead and start with Templar Warden.
Hello, I am Templar Warden. I'm down here in New Zealand. 8 a.m. in the morning.
Woo!
Looks terrible outside. Anyway, I'm Templar Warden. I'm playing Hidden by Axel, the excitable Tabaxi wizard with does not have a slight interest in necromancy today. Looking forward to the session, seeing how far we'll get, seeing what's going to happen.
Yep.
Don't know where we've gone just today.
Yeah, I was going to say, we had some it's an interesting recap of things that happened last time. Let's go to Bird vs. Plane.
Hello, folks. I am Bird vs. Plane. I'll be playing Iskatol, the half-elf bard / gunslinger in just past training. Trying her best.
Went to gun school. Now she's a gunslinger.
Right. Yeah, she is in for an interesting time today, I think. She woke up with a dead version of herself right next to her, and that was a fun time. And she might have a couple questions for Axel coming up after that. Just maybe a couple.
I was going to say, Mr. I might have done this. Oh, wait, no, I didn't. Never mind. Next up is Good Guy Pie and like the cool new like digs.
Yeah, welcome to my crib. As you can tell, we've got pizza, a cat, terrain, Cthulhu, and book stuff. I will be playing your luxury, your humble, your everything is fine. Look, Goldheart, human blood hunter, wonderful adventure extraordinaire. As was said before, everything is fine. Listen.
It's gonna be okay. It's all gonna be okay. And last but not least, Tunarth.
That's not last. Because you've forgotten somebody, if I'm last.
No, that's fine. I can leave. I see how it is.
Hey, I'm doing the diva, you know. Got to give the diva her own, you know, post show.
Of the
post pre-show.
Cast.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. Proceed.
There you go.
Yes, and then we'll have the special guest star.
Yes, exactly. It's like it's just the thing. It's like you get the cast, and then you go with special guest.
Yeah. So, I'm Tunarth in chat. I'm playing Kel the Wood Elf Druid, who is currently propping himself up on the back of the wagon after having had a dead version of him appear. So, yeah, there's that. And as you can tell by the music still playing from last week, we had a very emotional ending to last week's session. And I guess we're going to find out where that takes us today.
Yep. Cool. And now for our special guest star, the woman who needs no introduction, NNG9.
Hello, I'm NNG9. I play Luna, the Water Genasi monk / cleric, who woke up, choked Luck, kept him from hurting himself, held his hands, then held him as he cried. That sounds about right. Yeah, there we go.
That's about right. That's pretty much sums it up.
There may have been some emotional thing in there. I don't know.
There might have been some emotional thing in there. I don't know. Whatever. Something happened. Something.
It involved feeling, so whatever.
Yes. Backed by popular demand. Yes. So, for a little recap, last week, finished up the last of our shopping at Mad Madam Mims. Due to a generous donation during the week, our good friend Axel got an additional item donated out of the toy box, a special item. He got the library box, which we can say that he picked up while visiting Marie at the library. Basically, you put the book in at the end of the day, and the next morning there's a new book there to read. Congratulations to Axel. So he's got a little extra something after shopping there at the last of Mims. When then everyone sort of headed on the road, got another piece of the translation done. It was a struggle. This is a very difficult translation, but they did finally muddle through it. However, we'll talk a little bit about the mechanics for what a future translation might be, since that one was quite so difficult immediately following that one. And so things and stuff and things. I would say then, as we said, everyone woke up. They didn't realize it at the time, but they had been infected with Doppel fever, which basically, just like the Doppel rats, but instead of sloughing off live versions of themselves that then go and attack people, you basically end up having sloughed off a full-sized corpse of yourself during the night. And so 3 of our party members woke up sleeping next to dead versions of themselves. And so I need to readjust your camera so people can see what that says. Hours. Now we're down to hours.
Appropriate.
I see how you are.
I don't cause it.
What are you gonna do? Kill Liska?
Yeah. What am I gonna do? Anyway, so it was interesting. Quite a few people felt that they were to blame for this. One of them being Axel, who blurted out that he's been studying into the depths of the death runes, and that something that he had summoned or was communing with had selected out the 3 characters who were waking up next to corpses. Luck believed that he was suffering just the next stage of his mind slipping away from him and him losing himself, and said none of it's real. Finally ended up with Luna trying to get Luck, basically, comforting Luck, and Luck sort of breaking down about the whole story, pretty much, of his village, and he quite frankly is going mad, and that it is part of the curse of taking on the guardianship of his village. We ended last session as the sun was rising over a Luck, this 6'3" big guy, sort of just broken down in Luna's arms, and asking for help and a promise that when his mind was gone and all that was left was whatever might be controlling him, that she would make sure it didn't hurt any of their friends. And with that, I guess we'll start sort of surrounding everyone. We have Axel is right there. Iska's in the back of the wagon with, we'll say, Iskrin has basically passed out. Kel is pretty much very weak at this point as well. But Axel is right there with Luna and Luck, and I would say everyone's sort of within earshot in the early morning sunrise, sort of quiet, to have heard pretty much everything that happened. So I turn it over to you guys. What's up?
Well, after, embracing Luck for a while, let him go. We have to get ready to go.
Yeah. We better keep a move on. Time doesn't stop for no man or woman or being of any kind.
Hand on the shoulder. We'll continue our journey together.
Yep.
Yeah, people are in the wagon, so it's just
Yep.
getting back on the road. Nothing to be done now, 'cause it's
I mean, you guys really haven't had breakfast or anything. Are y'all gonna do take a moment to make some food? Is anyone in any mood for food? Dry rations is fine while you're moving. That works.
I think dry rations is probably more.
I was gonna say
appropriate right
Yeah.
you've got 3 of your party members. That was so weird. Did y'all see that?
now. Did magic.
Yeah, that Iska was frozen, Bird was frozen, and then apparently left and just wham, gone. That was so weird.
Iska took a level in ninja, didn't you know?
Wow, what a stealth check that was. Holy moly. I'm just like, what the hell just happened?
Yeah, it's apparently chugging for a bird was playing, so
Yeah.
I think he's got to check on.
So, yeah.
Or just moving on.
Yeah, so that's fine. You guys sort of get on the road again, get Turnip back between the traces and get back in the road and start your sort of beginning of your second day's travel towards and back. Yeah, no, it's so funny because you keep freezing, so you are literally blinking in and blinking out.
Sorry,
Iska learned to blink.
There you go.
not going great today.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. So everyone decides sort of dry rations, get on the road, and so on the road, second day of travel towards the Vice. Certainly, conversation can be had while traveling. As I was saying, if you turn your mind towards another translation, since yesterday was so difficult, it would be at disadvantage to attempt to do it now. However, you could lower the DC by maybe reviewing some of the other translations. Part of translation is a little bit of intuition of what might be coming next. So certainly taking some time today to discuss some of the other translations. You have quite a few documents now relating to the Tome of the Seed and the notes of the tiefling who you are chasing. So, to Valturian. So you're welcome to discuss those and potentially help yourselves with your next translation of bringing its DC down.
Would it be possible to go ahead and attempt it if I, A, use an advantage to counteract the disadvantage, and then B, use an F20?
You both would have to do so.
Oh, right.
Because it is a joint translation.
Is the other person involved interested in doing that?
I'm checking what I've got stored away, but I think, Axel needs a distraction right now, so I think he's going to sort of throw himself all in there. So I think I have a nat 20 advantage stored away, so, yeah.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to use an advantage and a nat 20.
Okay.
Yep.
And I need you to do it as well, Axel. So go ahead and mark
My-
those off.
Roll 20 throws an up, so
Okay.
just to
Just
refresh
mark it down that you're
Yep.
down an advantage and a nat 20. So yeah, it's still going to take probably about. You say it's always half time if you do this, so it's still going to take you till about lunchtime to do this. Again, this is a very difficult translation, mainly because it is such cryptic writing that you are dealing with here. But you do eventually get it worked out, and it will be appearing in y'all's notes. So I'll go ahead and read it out for the stream. 7 sets of 7 shall mark the time that the tempest shall fall still under light of sisters hand in hand around the gate. Before the storm again rages, the seed must be placed in the eye, cradled by the tree soul burdened, surrounded by each of the Wield's children to rejoin what was sundered and to feed and guide its birth. The birth shall be tied with a cord of light and a life plucked from shrouded strings. The birth shall create a nation for all the Wield's children, and they shall become fruitful within its bowels. The gluttons shall be starved of their power, and their feast shall become their poison as the nation of the outcasts becomes the center and the focus of all.
Well, I'm going to have to wait until read through that again, but that's interesting.
Tell me about it, Wandering. 7 sets of 7, right?
A lot of practicing in the mirror for that one, huh?
Yeah.
Absolutely. So yeah, it's anyone else doing anything until lunchtime or just sort of traveling a bit in silence? I figure.
Because Celia was not affected by this, right?
Right.
So
No,
she's
she actually
probably
got cured beforehand. So
Yep. Okay. So me and her probably training then.
okay, you can do 4 hours of training. Again, doing the sort of on the road while you're doing it. Keep your mind off of it. Iska, Luck, what are you all up to? Iska, you want to give another try at one of your songs while they're doing this?
Yeah, she does. So she's gonna be in the back of the wagon, but I'm gonna say she's a little distracted while doing this because she's definitely kind of keeping an eye on Axel.
Yep,
The mention that it could be his fault
gotcha.
was very interesting to her. That's a performance check, yeah?
So yeah, it'll be the second try at the same one that you did last time.
Okay.
The 23. This is that catchy little note that had this sort of just a tune, really, and it has these quick overlapping notes that are very repetitive. And of anything, once you get the hang of it, it almost reminds you kind of like of braiding hair. You know, it's got that sort of repetitive kind of sound to it. It might have been what distracted you before, because it almost does have that little bit of a cadence like the song from Moss Hollow did.
The feeders.
And as it sort of starts unwinding, it almost becomes hypnotic again with the wagon. And as you start doing it, it's almost like it's swinging back and forth. And go ahead and write a 0. As you watch, you see a figure swinging back and forth in a hangman's noose in an empty room hanging from the rafters, swinging to the sound of the song. You have learned Uriah's tune. It'll be showing up here in your handouts.
In that vision, is there anything of note of the figure swinging?
They're silhouetted against a window, so you're only able to see the outline of them. You can't even tell whether it's male or female.
Okay. Fun morning.
How do you say that, Danny? Urania? Urania, one of the muses.
You said it right the first time. Urania.
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 Yep. So
fun.
I was gonna say, so that's Iska's morning.
Good morning. Such a nice morning we've all had.
We'll be in the hanging tree.
A little bit. So lunch rolls around.
Yay!
And Iska has stopped playing. She's just sort of, I assume you're sitting in the wagon now. Do you get out? What are you doing, Iska, after your learning of a new chorus?
I'm gonna leave the violin somewhere in the wagon, and I'm just gonna get up and walk away for a little bit. I'm just gonna kind of distance myself, just get a breath of fresh air, and just get away from everyone for a minute. Not too far.
Yeah,
just kind of trail the wagon.
Again, this is well-traveled road. You're able to do that. So, Luck, what were you up to with your morning? I didn't come back to you to see if you were doing anything or whether you were just sitting there.
Just sitting there in silence right now.
Okay. Grain is sort of there with you with his head in your lap, feeling your mood, doing the dog thing, not being jumpy, but just being, that comfort and source of companionship that he's with you. And it's going to be, no matter how tough the ride gets, your little buddy's going to stay close by. So as the sun gets a bit midway overhead, you guys stopping or just keep on sort of dry rations and keep moving?
Keep on. I think everybody's kind of in there on Little Road right now.
Okay. We'll say, I think everyone's got enough of their own personal rations that you don't start digging into the vice rations that you got. But Kel will probably need to do some scavenging. He wasn't able to scavenge this morning to make sure that everything stretches as we get moving into the. So you don't start using them. I'll let you know if it seems like you begin to use them. I think we're pretty good. Okay.
That would be foraging, not scavenging. Thank you.
Foraging, scavenging.
Before he goes off, if he's making clear that he's leaving, I do want to ask if he feels okay enough to go off to do so, just after the morning we've had, if his energy is restored.
Are you wanting to scavenge before lunch, or he was with the translation. He could scavenge before dinner. But basically,
sure about the time.
Yeah.
Or I could forage.
Forage. But
before dinner.
Before dinner. Okay. Yeah. So at this point, since Axel and Kel were translating in the wagon, Luna and Siljev close by, Luck, I assume, driving the horses. Sitting there driving the horses. Iska played her violin, but then sort of taking a walk now. You all have just finished this translation, Axel and Kel. You basically now have translated everything that you know of, or that is currently visible in this book that's smaller on the inside, known as the Tome of the Seed. Hey, Cairo, how you doing? While they're thinking about their next move, I forgot to pitch. We are running our channel 100% for charity, as always. We are supporting Toys for Tots this month. You can donate down in the doobly-doo. We do have 2 special donation levels, a $4 level where you can give a toy out of a fun little spreadsheet that is available for you all to take a look at. It's a D100 roll. For $4, it's a minor magical sort of vanity item. And there's a $15 level where you get a more major magical trinket, not anything like from the DMG, but just with interesting properties to it, generated off of a weak magic item generator that I found online. But if nothing else, find out where you can volunteer. Toys for Tots has lots and lots of volunteer opportunities in your local community. I know I volunteer for them every year and out in my superhero costumes. They can always use people just to help collect toys and all of that. So yeah, I did forget my Twitter notification. Thanks, Wandering.
You are slipping.
I am. Well, I was kind of trying to get in touch with our buddy Kyle, who I bet you is sleeping.
Who?
Exactly.
Yeah, right.
Zero are our contracted assistant.
Okay, guys. So, what are y'all up to?
So now we're at dinner?
No, we're right after lunch.
Sorry, right after lunch. Well, I mean, let's Axel or Kel says something.
So, yeah, Axel, he's, the translating, he sort of sat by his own, sort of flipping over through all these notes as we sort of have lunch. So the point is this happens from the visions here. I don't know how accurate they are, but the visions say, and you're sort of saying this out loud to pretty much anyone around here, that we want if they want to heal the device with the indigo seed. It needs to happen on the convergence. So I think it happens on the convergence because the seven sets of 7 underlies sisters, and that's the stars, I think, right? And that the convergence happens when the stars align correctly. But so the Storm Rangers. So we need to find some place. We need to find the eye. We need to find the tree soul. The tree soul burdened.
This is talking about us. This is talking about us.
Yeah, when Axel says soul burdens, this guy actually points to Kel.
The cord of...
I was called the soul burdened back in the cave. And a cord of light and life plucked from shrouded strings.
And
that there's more in here to figure out, but this is talking about us.
The children is thinking over the Wield's children and points to Luna. The Genasi come from the Vice. That's
Correct.
to join what was sundered, which was the Wield.
The wheel, the lie. This is one and the same.
And that was destroyed. But the birth, which is when the seed does what it needs to, shall create a nation for all the Wield's children, and they shall become fruitful. I mean, do you think it means that they'll come back? There might be, more Genasi children if we can get this done.
Luna goes very still when you say that.
he is looking at Luna. He is pointing this out for Luna. You see, he has a little bit of a smile on his face. But of course, if we're going to get this done, we need to find out, where all these places are. We need to find out what the eye is, and we need to find out, place in the eye, which I don't know where that is, and we need we need to find out what.
There are more chords here. There's the gates. Glenfiera said that's where the wings came from.
If the Genasi are the children of the wheel, then the tieflings must be the nation of outcasts. They are necessary for this.
And the gluttons starved of their power.
I assume it means the ones above. That which it feasts on will be its poison. All the lives they have stolen will do the same to them, if this prophecy is true and fulfilled.
But of course, it could be so many different meanings in here. We don't know. This, because that doesn't always work out easy and straight, and we don't know all the pieces, so we don't know all the answers. 'Cause we could be saying that it's one thing and it's another, and we need to.
Possible, but I think it's best to pick one path as true and worry about changes later.
Mm. But so if Fedorian might know more, so if we can find Valtorian, we could find out some more answers, or see how they figure out the things. Because I think he read this as well, so he might have a different view on things, and he might be wrong, he might be right, we might be wrong, we might be right. And if we have two of us working together, we could sort out things better. I don't want to get this wrong. This is important.
So, Wandering Silence donates $67. Wandering, you are crazy. He likes round numbers, so he wanted to make it to 300. Nat 20s to everybody. So that goes for Kyle. It's 7 nat 20s. So that remind Kyle and Celia as well.
Sure.
7 more toys, which we will do when you all get to West. So 7 more toys, and $4 to Spellbank to make it so that it's all even.
Also insert obligatory.
Wow, thank you
69.
very much.
Thank you very much. Obligatory
Nice.
69.
Yeah, dude, that's amazing. Thank you so much.
Awesome.
Yeah, Toys for Tots is one of my a charity that's very close to my heart. I've worked with them for the last 5 or 6 years. It's what got me into costuming, was actually costuming for Toys for Tots, and then doing it at conventions and stuff. So, you rock. Thank you. So, sorry, back to translation. Yes.
With Axel's mention of Valterion, looking through these older notes, Iska will point out that this newest one mentions the seed, and from the letters that we translated, it says that the very soul of the Midnight Weald itself was put into the indigo seed, and that another portion could be in Dark Exit.
Oh my God!
Where Valterion was heading. Period. Go.
New Titans donates $105. Holiday trinkets to everybody.
I don't even. You guys are stop being amazing, and thank you.
Oh my
Stop
gosh,
it.
guys, you guys
But
rock so hard.
Wow.
That is just. Yeah.
We're not worthy. We're not worthy.
We aren't worthy. So yeah.
Goodness, guys.
But toys for costumes.
I can tell you what. So the how we're gonna do this, guys, because I think it'd be great to move it into the story as well. You know, Luna has some admirers in West. So I am thinking that Cobb and Bob, the smitten Noblins who are smitten with Luna, in order to get in her good graces, I believe are definitely going to shower the party with gifts. So you guys, for sure.
Probably not just her good graces they want to get into.
Yeah, but you don't know. Yeah, you don't know. But
Lots of people like shadow puppets.
yeah. Oh man! Oh man! Oh man! Y'all are
That
terrible.
would sell pretty fast.
So, as we go through this very serious translation, you know, it's not like the campaign is all about this or anything.
Thank you again, everybody.
Noblins,
Thank
yes,
you
guys,
so much.
so much.
Thank you
Truly,
so much.
truly.
Thanks.
Yeah, no, it's like I say, it's such a wonderful charity. I have actually helped deliver toys before. Speaking of volunteer opportunities, if you want something to get you into the Christmas spirit, they always need people to help deliver toys and take them to people who can't necessarily get to any of their distribution centers. And to go to into people's homes, and I mean, I was on, because I could lift them and carry them around, was on the bike delivery team. And to see some of these kids, you know, get their first bike, or to get a bike that was going to make them be able to get to school or things like that. I mean, or just toys, because, you know, that's a great volunteer opportunity as well for those of you who might not be able to donate. But guys, thank you so much for the donations, and I'm going to make a big scene out of it. Don't you worry.
Oh, it's going to be so uncomfortable.
That's the point.
Leaving a string of broken hearts behind her.
Yeah, more. I think just the two.
So yes. So Visions of Marat.
Okay, just to point out, Iska was saying that from the earlier translations, we knew that the soul of the vice, or the wields, was put into the seed. So we know that like there's some magical energy with that, which I think Kel has right now. And that also it said that some energy went to Darixix, and now there's more bits. I love that we can't get a line out without the generosity.
No, keep going. I got it. Okay.
No,
Are we
so
sure
that's it.
Are we sure the seed I have is what they're talking about? Because you know the indigo.
We know that you
seed
have a seed.
collectively.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be referring to people, not an object.
We don't know, but it does seem weird to get seed like that from an Indigo Guardian related to all of this. It's just keep it close for now.
I think the thing we need to focus on more than anything is figuring out, because there's a time factor here. Before the storm again rages, what storm and when should we expect it to rage? 7 sets of 7 shall mark the time that the tempest shall fall. Tempest is a storm.
Is Tian and like
Shall fall still.
Fall still.
Yeah.
Right. But so 7 sets of 7 is, and then so the tempest is falling still during that time, which implies that then at the end of that time there will be another storm.
You guys do not get into a battle.
Is there a bit war?
There is. It's not a bit war. It's a money war at this point.
Hey,
You guys, you are
getting
just.
the battle is good.
I know. I'm not going to argue because it is such a great course. But guys, we've met our goal.
Wow. Okay.
As Wandering Silence donates random potion for all and a wondrous item for Luna because Shadow Puppet Master. And Solo Q did $7.23, saying, even that out, buddy. Oh, man, oh, man.
Once again, thank you all.
You guys
Wow.
are just...
Great.
Y'all are insane. So the spell bank, let's say, is $26.23. Thanks. Which actually is, you all get to roll on a first level spell. If so, who wants to do it? Someone roll me a D67.
I got it.
Yeah, I was going to say at least do it.
It might help if I put roll in there.
Okay, so yeah, y'all are gonna have all but a Christmas tree set up for you in
33. I think I rolled that before.
Fog Cloud. I don't think you have.
Oh, never mind. Maybe I'm thinking a different world. Fog Cloud. I bring the rain.
But I'll talk to you. Actually, I'll talk to both of you guys afterwards if you guys want to do a custom donation or whether you want just buckets of gifts. If you're like me and I'll just wrap the new toothbrush, and put it under the tree so there's lots of gifts, that works too. But yeah, we'll talk afterwards in case you guys want to do who wants to if y'all want to turn something into like the bike under the tree. But anyway, so. I had to interrupt for big donations, but we will actually get back to the story now. Seed. You all were talking about the seed.
Well, Kel was mentioning the storm and when it happens and everything. Is Tian in earshot or like close enough by that he can contribute to?
Certainly. I mean, Tian can be listening in through Axel. If you want to ask.
Yeah,
I want to.
We'll
go ahead.
Ask. Wait. So, Tian. So, did Valturin have the seed, or did he actually have a seed? It was a seed, or was it something else? Tian asking Tian about the seed. Mentally.
Yep. And you hear in his sort of whispered voice that sounds sort of like chimes through wind. The seed that Valturion has, the indigo seed itself, that was given to. Was given to the tieflings at this when the vice was created.
So guys, it's like a seed, a thing that was given
to Zarnel. That's his name.
It was a seed that was given, so it could be carried around. And I think Valturin has it. That's why I went through the vice. That's why he's going there. But I'm thinking maybe the storm is. Maybe it's a place. Maybe it's access to a place. Maybe. I mean, this is really like if you can't get there except on a certain time, maybe it's being stopped by this storm, and then that's why. Maybe. But you were going to say something, Miska?
Tian, can you ask if this 7 sets of 7 are those years? Is that 49 years? Is that? What could this storm be referring to? Does he have any idea?
Tian sort of looks, or doesn't look, just sort of whispers back to Axel. I assume you translate it through. The storm that rages, the arcane storm that rages within the vice itself. Your druid has seen it.
You've seen it?
I don't know anything about time in relation to it. Do I? I'm unsure.
I think just referring to... I was answering the storm question. I wasn't answering the time question. Sorry. I was answering what is the storm. But as far as time goes, Tian, time is a weird concept for a tree. Perhaps when Iskrin wakes up. He's been sleeping all day.
I'm the cat. I should be having the cat naps. What's this?
I don't know.
No. Does the 777 Fort 9, does that ring any bells with Hidden by Axel by, calendar dates or anything like that?
Or to think outside of 7 sets, like maybe it's not 7, maybe it's like 7 sets of it. Like I don't know if we have enough information to gather that.
Yeah.
But
he might have a.
I will do an Iskrin chimes in because the reality is he would just have to do a roll, and I'd have to see how much he knows. Being well traveled celestial, he looks at it and I can't do his voice, but he goes, you were talking about the convergence. What's the convergence?
Every 7 years, the sisters, the stars align, and different groups meet to plan and discuss the future of the realm.
Well, they're in a line. The gate's a hole, and it says there, hand in hand around the gate. A line doesn't go around. Maybe it's not the convergence. Maybe it's a time after the convergence.
We still don't know exactly when that time is, although now we know that it could be before, maybe. I don't, yeah. Axel sort of looks up as if looking for stars. Yeah, I don't.
He sort of looks at his astrosphere, still trying to figure out how to make it work, of seeing if he can get something that, tracks the stars. He failed his
rolling.
Magic 8 Ball says, try again.
Yes, Magic 8 Ball says, try again later.
I had a vision of the Vice as this perpetual storm. So maybe what this is saying is that there will be a time where that storm will stop or pause, like the eye of the storm. And during that time is when we have to do whatever it is we have to do before the storm starts again.
Yeah, and maybe it's somewhere in
the
the
seed must be placed in the eye. Is that the eye of the storm? Is that the center of the Vice?
And would that make sense if it's stored, its energy, its life, its soul stored within the seed? It would only make sense for it to be returned.
To fill the hole and stop the storm?
Kel, I think you're onto this.
I mean, he knows about growing things, so if he's going to regrow the kind of going to regrow it, then Kel still had to talk about these things. But I wonder if anyone knows what. I wonder if Direxus is actually near the Vice or not.
You can look at your map, and actually I can help you out by putting you on the map.
I'm also I'm also wondering, each of the Wield's children, if we're thinking that the Wield's children are the Genasi,
We will
then
need one of each element.
air, fire, water, and earth together.
And who better to unite them than their mother? Iska said, thinking back to the title that Guilantira gave to Luna.
Yeah, Luna's face keeps twitching a little. You cannot tell whether it's happiness or anger or sadness. It just twitches every once in a while.
So you all can see on the map, Darixis is way over on the coast compared to the Vice.
Axel flips through his books to read Valturian's notes. See where he's actually going.
Rejoin what was sundered. Something was blown open and created the Vice, and this was...
But we knew from the journal that when the Vice was finished, there was an explosion that magic tore through. I'm gonna go look at that note again.
And this should repair what was broken.
Yes.
And in that rejoining, something will be born to feed and guide its birth.
Yikes.
Maybe it's
whatever
will grow from the seed.
Axel flips over to where he basically transcribed out Celia's translation of Valturian's notes. Not Valturian's actual notes, the written in Infernal. Well, it says here that So Valturian's going to Darixis and energies that still flow there. So and then from there to the birth, and then so he's going to Darixis, and then he's going from there to the birth. So I don't know if that's the same place, if it's a different place, but that's. I predict the birth to Elena.
I was gonna say, as I keep trying to keep all these things opened up for the stream.
Oh, you're right. You're right, Iskun, because here it's written that everyone thought, the convergence is when the birth is happening, but Valturian's saying, oh no, that's not true, and no, I believe the photo is not. But focus when three sisters can surround a fourth, a shrouded sister that unmoons to us and moves unseen through the world.
That's Iska, isn't it?
She nods, kind of reticently, just like... Iska and Bird are both kind of blown away by all of these like ties coming together.
I need to turn off my camera.
No, you cannot do this poker face right now.
That face. So we need to.
There's nothing much we can do
Except get there.
except, yeah.
Yeah. But first, we need to get through the Vice. And we need to get all of Sylvia back.
Yes, let's keep going. What else can we do?
Keep going. If nothing else, this tells us that we are meant to be here and now, that we are on the right steps, that we are doing this.
Looking at the map, roughly how far do we seem to be from west?
You knew that from Midway to West is 5 days. So you've traveled about 1 day because you left at lunch yesterday. It's lunch today. So you, from looking at the map, and do me a history check, or I don't know, what do you want to call it? What Axel's note check. As you were looking for Darixis, we'll say, do me a history check just to see if you make another connection. Ooh, 25 and 28, damn straight. Axel, the man. You do, notice on the map, there to the south of Darixis, the Mirrorvale Wilderness, which is a place that you heard the Lutaxian Isles were off the coast of the Mirrorvale Wilderness, this ancient place. And your translation of the word that was written into the ceiling.
So it's all over there. Should probably go. Yeah, we need to get there then. And he was going to get out his last Mossa Gate and scribe in the Dragonstride rune.
To be most efficient, you would want to do that in the morning unless you plan on traveling through the night.
Okay, well,
because that's the thing is that you would get at this point you basically get a half day unless you traveled if you traveled through the night. The best thing to do would be to do it the next morning. Then you could knock off basically a day and a half. It'll get you back to morning. So because right now you're splitting sort of days of travel between an evening and a morning. So if you did it tomorrow morning,
then tomorrow. So you'll prepare it to get the crew, but it won't activate it. Yeah, it's got like the last little bit.
So I will bring you all back to just road page, unless you want to keep. Do you want to keep the map up or no?
We have the map in our notes.
Yep. Okay, that's right. You can pull it up there too. So yeah, you guys travel in the afternoon. We'll say this conversation and putting this all together as you all were actually, not having the instant access of computers, flipping through notes and everything. We'll say that probably took you 3 or 4 hours to get through all of that ciphering and putting things together. But I will say, well done, team. I got goosebumps at y'all.
It took us almost a year, but we kind of figured out a puzzle.
There you go.
It only took 11 months, sure.
Yeah. It's starting to come towards evening, and Luck, what are you up to? Were you actively participating in all of this revelation, or were you just sort of petting Grain and listening in?
Just listening in. Again, he's not a man to do thinking like that. It's he'll leave that to the people who understand the situation.
Yep. So we'll say that you come to a nice camping spot. Again, this is there's nice pull-offs here. You can find a fairly good one. Kel, if you want to do some foraging, do me a survival check. We can see how much you get. Yeah, if it's below a 10, it's scavenging. If it's above a 10, then it's foraging. I said a 10. I said below. A 10 counts. So a 10 is foraging. You might have picked up some roadkill and brushed it off. It was fresh roadkill. But berries, other things, you did find things. I mean, this is a well-traveled road. So, I mean, a lot of people do scavenge. And certainly you all know that prices, you've heard from your shopping at Mims that prices at West are outrageous. So people very much might have been trying to just get their way to somewhere else to not have to buy food in West. But you all set up camp for the night. Anything before going to bed? You all are sitting around the campfire. Luck is able to make up nice thing. I mean, he had a whole new pack of spices that y'all got out of the Black Dragonflight lair. And yeah, so anything going on with your early evening?
Probably not early evening, but right before. I'm going to go to bed. She do something. So if somebody else wants to do a thing, go ahead.
Around the campfire?
What's Axel up to right now?
Axel gets out the spells book and he's going to start scribing some scrolls into the spell book and working out spells and stuff.
Are you like around the campfire?
Yeah, right next to the campfire, yeah. You would have noticed that the last, like when he goes off and does his study, last night, he did go off and sit by his own away from the fire, but today he's sort of sitting at the fire with his spell book in front of him.
So, Axel is gonna approach, like any other night, basically, you know. Just gonna sit next to him, have her own, like, notes out and everything, and just say, learned a lot today, huh?
I mean, yeah, learning new things is always useful. And, most of the time, sometimes it's a bit sad, but yeah, it's good to learn things.
Yeah.
Are you okay? You good?
I'm good. I'm as good as can be, I guess.
Axel leans over and gives her a little hug.
Niska will like give a smile at that, and as soon as like he pulls away, she looks to you and just says, "So, what did you mean today, this morning, when you thought that was your fault?"
And he sort of pauses. And he gets out, sort of reaches over to Bag of Holding and pulls out the rune book. Now the question is, can they see the rune book?
If you will them to see it, yes.
Okay. Yeah, so pulls out the rune book and sort of puts it there. And it flips
This one goes, "What's that?" It's the wart. It's the wart.
Yeah, you saw that before. Yeah. She flips over to the index and sort of points at the I'm studying this rune. You remember when we were at the village and I showed everyone what happened there? I was using that rune, and I'm trying to study it more and learn it more because it's death, decay, and I want to know how to stop it. I want to know how to stop you dying. I don't want anyone to die, and to stop something. I need to know how it works. I need to know. And so I was studying this, and I'm seeing this little creature. It's like a spirit of death there, and I saw it in the vision. You know, we were back at the village, and everyone was dying. I saw it take their lives, and I think, and I thought, I don't know, it acts on its own. So I thought maybe, and I think when I study the rune, it sort of gets closer. And I thought maybe it was acting on its own because last night I was studying it and I saw it. It was hanging around. It was hanging around you. It was hanging around Kel. It was hanging around Iskrin. And now I think it was because you were all sick, and I think that's what I was doing. But I thought it done something, and I thought studying it had given it the power to do that. So I don't know if that's still gonna happen or not. Maybe I should listen to it more next time. Maybe, but not yet.
Two things. Is this safe? And can I help?
I don't know. I'm trying to keep it as safe as possible, but I know that it's dangerous for me. Last times I had the revelations, it took something out of me. And it hurt, and it was scary. But yeah, I don't know. But I'm going to try the best to keep it safe for the rest of you. But well, you know, I was scared, and part of I kind of do want to. I'm scared of death. I'm scared of dying. I'm scared of the undead, and I want to be stronger. I want to not be scared. And Tian, you know, is the comforting when I was first studying, and if you could just sort of be there when I'm studying it, because sometimes things happen, and yeah, having friends helps. But not today. Today's too soon. So I'm just doing spells today.
If there is anyone in this world who can figure this out, it's you. And
Well,
I better be there when you do.
Well, you know, Gwillem Forth could probably figure it out, because it's the glyphs and stuff. But yeah,
From
I'll
this
give it a
world,
try.
I don't know where that guy's from.
That's true.
He emerged from a cave.
Like from another sphere. You got to ask Iskrin about all these things. I mean, he knows all that stuff. I mean, I kind of want to learn, but I've got to, you know, I can't learn everything at once. Like,
She gives Iskrin like a glance real quick, and she's just like, you know, I'm good. But anything I
this,
go ahead.
This playful little smile. Hey, yes, like pretend to go
immediately
get
just like grabs onto you and is like, no.
Axel was entirely expecting that.
I imagine it's a kind of version of the way Luna chokeholds Iskrin.
With love.
Exactly. You know, you probably have him like the shoulder or something.
Mm-hmm.
Noises.
But once that calms down, she just says, anytime you want me around, I'll be there. Anything to help.
And you know, the same goes the other way. You know, I'm here to help you. I mean, we're all here to help you, or here to help each other. But yeah, I'm here to help you. He sort of sits up close, gets the book out. Hey, you want to look at this spell? Which is because I picked us up where we were back at the midway, and so this is sending. So if you know, once I get it copied out, I can cast it. You know, I don't have to expend the scroll, and I've figured out myself. Then I can send messages for everyone here, you and Luck and Cal. I can send messages to people for you.
As much as we're moving, that'd be amazing, Axel. And she just kind of loses her thought as they kind of have a moment that maybe they haven't had since before everything, where it's just Axel explaining magic to Iska and Iska being enthralled by it.
Yeah.
Cool. So Luck, do you have anything while cooking dinner, or Grain's still hanging around, staying close by you, just making sure you're okay?
Not right now. He's sort of seeing people that he's sort of going to keep to himself as he's sort of just cooking dinner. But
Okay. So Kel, once Kel gets back from foraging, what are you up to for the evening? Anything special?
No, he's going to appear preoccupied, kind of lost in his thoughts. Not really taking in much of anything else, just kind of, you know, eating, you know,
Okay.
dinner, and then just sitting and staring at the fire for a while, just staring into the flames
Okay.
before going to his evening meditation.
Okay. So we'll say that it's getting into later evening. So Luna, you were saying you had something you wanted to do.
Again, this is with everybody else. It's just going to be like not too long before she goes to sleep. She's gonna go in a prayer to Saint Cuthbert. Normal opening, and then I pray for your guidance as we go forward. I don't know what to do. The tieflings are needed for the prophecy, and I cannot take on Florian. How do I keep them all safe? And that's all.
Okay. And the night falls. People go to sleep. Luck, I need you to make a wisdom saving throw with advantage. As you hear again in the back of your head in your dreams, let me in.
I have the one ready to go, and
let me in. It's just a whisper. Doesn't seem to go any further, but it's still this scratching. Happening in the back of your head.
Need some oiling, I think.
Yes. Axel, you've had a long day thinking big thoughts. And as you sleep, familiar medley comes into your head as you find yourself back in Moss Hollow, back in the vision again. You're sitting at the desk in front of the window, pondering the writings of Marat, but it's interesting now that you, Axel, understand them. That frustration that you're used to feeling of the tiefling isn't there. You look up, you see the children just as before jumping rope, oblivious of what's to come. And then you look up. As you're looking up, you see, pretty much for the first time, for focusing on it, your own face. The face of the tiefling. Reflecting on the taking care of it. Thank you, Wandering. Reflected, it's the face of the tiefling, this body that you're inhabiting. And in that reflection is the revelation, just as it was before. Reflected there in the window as you head up to then scratch out the word that you hope someone will understand. As you had a revelation, today you look at the word again that was scratched in the ceiling, just as you saw it reflected. And then you realize, just as you had in the vision, that you didn't quite have time to finish. You forgot the first, perhaps the last, L, as you wrote it backwards. into the ceiling. And you come awake.
Someone please clip that face.
As the music fades, dawn breaks. And Axel, you wake up.
Looks over to everyone who, looks over just around the party and over to where Iska is, or where everyone is, and smiles. And we can do this. We can do this. And you'll sort of get some noodles out. You've got enough for a couple of servings. He's gonna get his noodles, the rest of his noodles out, and just put them on to boil. Sort of get a fire ready and get out some cooking stuff. I think there's a mess kit that he and Iska sort of bought together. Gets that out, gets a little pot, and just puts it over a fire and sits out 2 servings of noodles to boil in the water. And he's just gonna wait for the others to wake up as he sort of looks up. Just a big smile.
Luck, you didn't sleep well. We'll say you're the first person awake.
Well,
Kel's already been up, so I assume you go out
Actually,
foraging. Yeah.
Yeah, I would have been out foraging.
Yeah. So we'll say you come back about the time Axel's gotten up and poked the fire and sort of gotten some water going. Or you could use a boiling stone. You still have the boiling stone if you want to use that instead of poking the fire, whichever you prefer.
Do you want me to do a survival check?
Yep, survival check for your scavenging.
Foraging.
Foraging. Sorry, I don't know why I got on scavenging.
Today.
You know what it is? It's because I'm playing this game called Shadows of Brimstone, and you scavenge things, and so every single turn you scavenge. So it's like roll for scavenge, roll for scavenge, roll for scavenge. Anyway, on 25, you don't have to scavenge at all this morning. You forage wonderful things. A nice little wild. Little small sort of suckling pig, enough to make some bacon and rashers, maybe some ham, a little bit to save for lunch, for sandwiches. Luck could easily put it on a spit for you. As Luck is going about his preparations, do you want to tell us a little bit about your preparations here, Luck?
All right, so he sort of gets up, grabs his pots and pans. I'm sorry. I get paranoid now. When
You've given him
quiet.
breakfast PTSD.
This is big. I was gonna say you've had 3 tough breakfasts in a row, buddy.
Any amount of quiet starts to worry me. I'm sorry. He gets out his pots and pans. He just is constantly looking over his shoulder and just looking at everyone, making sure that one day that is just going to be a normal morning. He really hopes it is. As
If
it looks.
he is looking over his shoulder, he does see Luna behind him. Just pat on the shoulder.
Morning.
Morning. She'll just sit down next to you. Don't say anything else.
So he continues setting up his cooking utensils and yawning as he sort of rubs his eyes a little, as sort of a bit heavy from sort of the unsettled sleep. as he's sort of holding a necklace, that he seems to sort of almost always wear, sort of twiddling in his fingers as he's sort of thinking back on stuff. That sort of finishes off his cell there.
Okay. Smells great. Iska, you wake to the smell of frying suckling pig. Maybe some bacon smells, ham getting cooked. Noodles, in fact, one of your favorites that you like to share, that Axel seems to always make on special occasions.
Oh, I wake up with a smile on my face. Kyle's here, so how could I not smile?
And
First
Luna
foremost.
immediately frowned. Morning ruined.
Oh, what?
No worries, dude. We figured what probably happened.
Bacon summons him.
It was. We had bacon in the You smelled the bacon in the game.
I'm sorry, everyone.
No worries, dude.
I set so many alarms. And
Life happens. Schedules happen. It's all good, dude.
Yeah, dude, we're
It's coming
fine.
out of your pay, but you know.
I mean,
Divas don't apologize.
We get pay?
exactly.
Well, you would.
Not anymore.
You did.
But yeah, no. So after the trauma of waking up to his own corpse, Iskren had a very quiet day.
That was a
But
lot
he-
of cradling.
But he contributed to Revelations.
You did. You actually did contribute to Revelations.
I'm pretty good like that.
Yeah.
What happened?
This is awesome, dude. Just saying.
Thank you.
And rook.
So
Enemy.
Iskren wakes up in a cloud of glitter, feeling much better after a day of introspection, because there's bacon. And so, Iska, you're up. Noodles, Axel's there. I guess close by. Sort of. Have you been waiting for Axel? Have you been waiting for Iska to wake up?
Yep.
Oh, I mean, she wakes up and go ahead.
Kel is
go
there
ahead.
too. I was just
Yeah.
going to say Kel's there too.
Yeah.
She wakes up all smiles. This is the best morning she's had in a while, even though yesterday morning was pretty traumatic. They've learned so much. They've got confirmation they are all meant to be there. They're all on the right track. So she just wakes up, sends a huge smile to Kel and Axel, and joins them. Just exuberant. Just like a weight off her shoulders. Just moving freely and everything. She's in a great mood. The character is in a great mood.
This is for you, and he, gives out a portion of the noodles for Iska.
She takes it and smells deeply from it, and wants to enjoy all of this, knowing they're heading to the Vice. So she has taken her time with this one.
It looks over. I had a dream the other day. Oh, the night, and it's just we're right. You're the important one. You're the one who's going to be. Remember the village, and that writing on the ceiling. Well, that was all about you. And he draws on the ground the word Iska. Tell.
And the smile fades from her face a little bit to more of this neutral expression. As she takes that in, it's great to know that's confirmed totally now, but having it linked to the feeder's vision is still just kind of fouls her mood a little bit, I guess I should say. But she gives you a nod and just Oh, we're all the important ones, right? She says, and you can hear like almost this like lack of conviction in her voice as she says it.
Well, you know, of course we are. Of course we are, you know. Well, let's see, we've got the Fate Singer, we've got the Hand of the Ancients, we've got the Soul Burden, we've got
The Reborn, looking to
the Reborn,
look.
the Shield of the Spheres, what was Celia's?
Blade of the Plains, I believe.
Blade of the Plains, yeah. We've all got we've got something going on. But yeah, we know that you're the shrouded sister. We know where we're going. We know what we've got to do.
Kel stands up and walks around to be directly in front of Iska, and then squats down so he's looking her straight in the face, and reaches out one of his hands to hold hers. We are all important. All of us. The only reason I'm here with you is because one day, a month ago, I happened out of the forest and saw you by the side of a road, staring at a leaf. And then someone showed up, and that someone was Luck. And following the two of you led all of us to Axel and Luna. And we've gone on and on from there. But it started with you looking at a leaf on the side of the road. This is bigger than all of us, and we're all a part of it. And from what we seem to be learning, this will, and I'm afraid to even say this, save the world. Which is hard to think about in a lot of ways. But just know that we're in the right place at the right time. And apparently this has been seen long before any of our individual stories came together.
Iska lets out a little laugh and says, "Yeah, it is. It's a little weird to go from strangers to the prophesied ones in a month, but." She just squeezes your hand tighter. But we are in the right place. All of us are in the right place.
You know, when you think about it, it's really remarkable because, you know, you've seen, you know, I when I was in Grom's Tower, I thought the world was big, but never this big. And when you see how far we have to go, you know, we're traveling days, and the fact that we can run into each other on the road or in the forest even, and then in this this beautiful cave, it's it's amazing how that could have happened.
Well, I'm glad it did.
That's the point. It's amazing.
It's fate.
There's a famous saying that some people have said, well, a travelers thing. They say, what are the odds?
What are the odds indeed?
Well, technically, they're very well against us. If you've ever been to the Vice before, you know that. But pretty well stacked against us. Mostly me.
Well, you need to be taller than.
It doesn't have anything to do with height, luck.
Well, you stack things, they go upwards. You don't stack things when you go downwards.
Consider not sparkling.
Bacon. Munching. Slowly. No.
Axel was trying to think about how to explain the stacked against us the luck, and he's having a difficult time. I suppose being taller could help if being taller is then a metaphor for improving your chances. Yeah, that could work, yeah.
Luna will pat Axel on the head and shake her head.
Kel will cast Speak with Animals on himself. And then ask Grain. Hello, Grain.
Bacon.
How are you doing?
Bacon.
Bacon.
He just keeps looking at you, Bacon.
Luck.
Yes.
Grain would like some bacon.
Bacon. And he looks now at Luck very expectantly. He sits down. He tries like everything. He totally does Justice pose. Maybe if he does Justice pose. Justice. He says it. Justice. Bacon.
He's doing justice for you.
Justice. Bacon.
You pose him a slice of bacon.
Oh. Bacon, 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 bacon. Hey, Lloyd, how you doing?
Hello, Lloyd.
Is there anything you would like me to tell Luck for you?
Tell me it'll be okay. I'll be here. Be okay. It'll be okay. He's sad.
Luck, Grain knows you're sad, but he says he'll be here for you, and it'll be okay.
I know he will be. He's loyal. Even though I never actually knew where he came from. He kind of just disappeared from me, but the fact that he's stayed with me ever since shows some sort of loyalty. Which it's nice to see.
I translate.
Justice. Bacon. He's still a puppy, man. Justice. Bacon.
Justice equals bacon.
Yeah.
Equation.
Bacon.
Bacon.
More bacon.
He goes.
No, seriously, more bacon.
Luck, can I have some bacon?
Not you, too.
Oh,
Where's the dog?
oh.
And he actually, Luck asks you, he goes, and I don't understand new trick. What's new trick? I go, I stay, I leave, I drop, I go back. I don't get it.
I translate.
How do you dog? Like how? Oh wait, magic. Yes, magic. That's how it's happening. Okay. You go place something down. You hide it
Ooh,
away.
hide? Like leave a bone. It's like leaving a bone. We'll say that Kel's translating through.
I am concurrently translating.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
Oh, I can hide bone. Yeah. Okay.
Then you go get it back.
So leave it for later and go back and get it.
Yes.
Oh, I got it. So you'll have advantage on your next animal handling check to see if he really does get it. And then Bacon?
And then
Got it. Am I doing it? Justice. He gets injustice pose.
I give him some bacon.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so Luck, Grain is now very full, and as puppies do, very tired. Okay, nap now. Belly full, time to sleep. He goes up and curls up underneath of, sort of around Tian. That's sort of been his new hangout.
If grain is full, does that make him a grain silo?
Does that mean it's time for the break? And the,
Actually, it is. It's 3:30. So yeah, you don't get another
Another
one. You
day.
don't get another pun. Sorry, you already used it.
Nope. Incorrect.
Wonderful.
Incorrect. That is not fun of the week. Flips don't count.
Back to bed.
Okay,
Going
so
back
I will let you guys, if you could pitch for Toys for Tots. And guys, thank you so much, New Titans and Wandering Silence. You all are insane. And everyone else who's been donating, we have 27 days to go, and we're already at our goal. So I'm gonna probably stop and restart so I can make it let's go for 1,000, woo, or something. I don't know. We shall see. And I'm gonna take a quick break, let you guys pitch all the wonderful things, and I will be listening so I don't miss pun of the week.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us. If this is your first time, welcome. If you've been here before, you know what to expect. But just for clarification, this channel is run 100% for charity, and this month's charity is Toys for Tots. Toys for Tots, their organization dedicated to bringing toys to underprivileged youth all across the U.S. There are multiple volunteer opportunities if donating money isn't what you want to do or able to do. If you do choose to donate money, there are multiple levels below. There's things like the Spell Bank, there's the $4, there's the 2 special levels for this month, which is the $4 minor item, minor magical thing, and also for $15 you can get a holiday trinket, which is it's a slightly higher level magic. But yeah, go ahead, take a look, bottom left. But please do not feel pressured to donate. You can do things like share us on social media, like Facebook and Twitter. Also, you can use hashtag #TheViceDND, much appreciated. And as a special treat, it's time for Pun of the Week. Don't take your headphones off, I see you. What do you get when you cross a 4-leaf clover with poison ivy?
what?
A rash of good luck. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
I come back and it's like a clear room. It's like everyone's left.
You're welcome.
help me.
It's easier.
Just needed some counseling.
Oh no, did I miss the pun?
You did. I just
No.
did.
Oh. Don't wait.
Oh, thank you, Cryo. I'm sorry. I will, when I do the thing after this, I'll make sure to repeat it for you on stream after this.
Okay.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
Yes, you would, Wandering.
they are coming back. Cool. So, trying to think, where were we? It was morning. Bacon. I think Axel, did you guys have anything you wanted to do before getting on the road? And Axel was going to use a dragon stride.
Mm-mm. I think maybe no, that's fine.
I just did what I wanted to do.
Very, very well done.
Does anyone want to have like a really, well, like, does anyone have like a really short message they want to send to anyone? Although I guess I can't really send it to somebody I don't know. But
Why don't you send a message to Grom?
Yeah. As much as you talk about him, I think he would appreciate hearing from you.
Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah, and I'll send to Strauss. And do you want to send one to Ulgola? Go.
No, I don't think so.
Okay. And so Axel just sort of sit himself at the back of the car and just cast the spell. And you sort of see him for a moment, sort of staring off into nothing as he sort of, doesn't, and mouthing some words that I haven't written up yet. So 25 words. Sending one to Grom and then one to Strauss. Yeah, and then he sort of, I'll say, got the room. Go when we want to. And I'll get those ready.
Okay. So you got the room going, or are you sending messages first, or at the same time, or whatever?
He just sort of, he took a moment to send the messages while everyone else was sort of getting ready. It doesn't.
Okay, it's instantaneous.
It's a quick thing, yeah. So
cool. Iskrin, what are you up to today after your sort of day of contemplation yesterday? And actually, I think some people had questions for you that you were unresponsive to yesterday regarding some of the revelations.
I stared in the eyes of my dead self. They weren't blue. It was very weird. Did not approve. Today, so it's morning time. We've all had breakfast and stuff like that. Yeah, we've all had bacon. Bacon, like the meerkat. But he will basically spend the majority of his morning while everyone's in talks, just sitting basically on the ground near the fire. Astrolabe kind of fidgeting in the hand. Lyle planted in the ground beside him, and just having nice little mental talks with Lyle, just about one of his past lives, just getting a bit of details down. Then, once he's had a nice full belly full of bacon, for the ones he can scrouge, he's going to click the astrolabe open and just give it a nice little look and study before we head off onto the road. He's going to stare at it. He's going to take out his astrolabe, the broken one, compare the two, see what's different, see how more accurate the crafter's astrolabe is compared to his. He's going to see if there's anything they can salvage from his astrolabe to the crafters, or if there's anything different. Try to see if they both meet towards the same direction.
I mean, yeah, the crafter, your astrolabe is broken. It has not been functional since you landed and crashed here. The crafter's astrosphere is basically the equivalent of taking yours and making it in 3 dimensions. It folds out and becomes this sphere that, whereas the astrolabe is sort of a flat disc and you kind of have to align it yourself. This actually, has ingeniously sort of unfolds into multiple rings that all align themselves around. And do me a Arcana plus intelligence checks, please.
Okay, use your intelligence.
Wow.
Well then.
To be fair, that seems on brand for Iskrin.
Yeah.
It actually does seem on brand for Iskrin. You, in this messing around with it, get amazing insight into this sphere and into the stars and how they align and how the gate activates and when it will activate and all of this incredible numerology that seems to be controlling all of the magical forces of the world. And you have no idea what any of it means. And so you discard it and just figure, whatever. Mixed in with that is the signal of your partner, Kirlydron, and another Eladrin, apparently on this sphere. And you sort of give it a thump on the side, figuring it must be broken. And when you do that, it sort of all folds back down together and, seems to have sort of done its thing for the day.
There is the longest of sighs. And then just tucked into the belt pouch.
Don't worry. You'll get the hang of it again soon. You hear Lyle's voice in your head.
What's this? I'm glad I have a teacher, mentor, and friend to guide me, to be honest. Because this is just too much. This is horrible. What was everyone else doing at this point, by the way? I'd like to look up and just see everyone. Like, I noticed the dips in their leaves. I noticed Kel's anchor down below, the pools, water that is Luna.
Yeah, no, one of the things you absolutely notice, you are feeling that weird headwind beginning to blow again. The one that you paid no attention to the first time when approaching the Vice. That as you have gotten a day and a half closer to the Vice, you are starting to feel that current that seems to somehow be repelling you from it.
He's gonna run his fingers through his hair. Well, throw it all out, shake his head, and kind of just brush it off for the moment. Just crack his neck, roll his shoulders. Says, well, if I go missing, you stay behind. Actually, no, that can't work. You'll disappear. That's all good. It's all good. We'll be all right. He says out loud. It's like, we'll be fine. Everything will be fine. Everything's good. Everything's good. And he will pack up what he needs to and help get the wagon underway.
Okay. Anyone else before we get on the road?
Thank you.
Y'all head out on the road. You dragon stride in it. And once again, Iskrin, you see that weird warping of the weave as Axel's rune activates, and you all seem to be slipping forward at a more rapid pace, somehow magically augmented and sort of twisting the very fabric of time itself.
I would like to, as this is happening, as it's kind of whoosh, boiling through, I'd like to make a 5-foot cube around where we're all sitting, and just above, and then cast minor illusions so I can show that to everyone, that warp in the weave and just how the weave looks.
Oh, cool.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, for Star Trek fans, it basically looks like what looks like when you're going through warp speed. I mean, or I mean, it's just this very weird thing. Kel, are you around to see this? Do you take a look, or are you sort of to either side? Like you and Celia usually do, or are you right there at the wagon? I mean, you have to stay within range of the rune, or else you'll fall out. But do you go up and take a look when you sort of see the movie, the Circle Vision 360 that Iskra
Well,
set
yeah, I
up?
mean, if we're dragon striding, I don't think we're doing our usual scouting in front and behind, because we need to stay with the wagon.
Yep. Yeah, you couldn't go far. So, the interesting part about this for you, Kel, is it's very familiar. Not necessarily the warp bubble, but just these lines of magic that Iskren is showing you is very similar to those lines of magic that you saw in your visions over the last month. The ones that you saw getting sucked in, that you can see that, what Iskren has been talking about, the weave, seems to be him not necessarily seeing the same ley lines that you saw, which are sort of powered versions of these threads of magic. He's seeing sort of that underlying fabric that they traverse across. It's hard to sort of make sense out of, other than that they're definitely related. And a couple times as Iskren's translating what he sees, you do see, outside of sort of the warp bubble, ley lines that go zipping and rushing across the landscape, being sucked in the direction you're traveling towards the Vice.
This is the weave, everybody. This is what I see all the time when able to see. This is how we affect it.
You see this all the time?
I can't unsee it. Well, unless I go into the Vice, I come into this sphere. But
That
this is everything. This is everything to me. This is everything that we are.
That explains some things, as Iska thinks to whenever Iskren is very absent-minded or distracted. It's very clear now why he would be.
Yeah, I mean, it's for Iska, I'm sure it is this just amazing. Add 8 more layers over top of your visual spectrum and different pieces of information. It's somewhat overwhelming to perceive.
Through the speed and just the warping of the wave as well, I tried to point out all the different kinds. I see life going by us. That's life. Death is just going underneath. There's Luna, water. It's a little less here because of the... well, no, I'm not too sure. I can't answer that question why that's less here. I'll just point them all out to him.
So,
Kel speaks up and says, "I've seen this before."
There's a slow head turn. Just, what?
I've been... Ever since we've all been traveling together, I've been having visions of a sort in the night during my meditations. That's how I knew about the sense of a storm in the Vice and all these threads of magic being pulled by it. I've also seen, and player question, am I through his vision as well? Is he perceiving the ley lines?
So what you see when he points out there goes a life racing by or whatever, when he's pointing out, you don't see, like, he's showing you like this entire grid work. Think of it almost like a grid. I think I've posted that picture of that carpet that's in that science store that looks like it's sort of the like the space-time continuum. He's seeing that, but he's actually seeing 8 different ones of those laid on top of each other for all of the different weaves of magic. You will see racing down one of those, like basically down one of those axes, either, a one, vertical or horizontal. You would see sort of one of them look like they're energized. It almost looked like, if you remember Tron, it almost looked like a little, a beam, a flash of a strand that's running down it that's brighter than the rest. That's what you've always seen, is just like those ley lines. The thing that you're all seeing now is how all of it is now sort of warped and twisted to being sucked towards the vice. The magic, the weave itself, the ley lines are being pulled off track. They should be running on the lines. They're running off the lines. Basically, things aren't running the way that they're supposed to. And Iskrin, do me a perception check with advantage.
And I want to ask, so just does that mean that what I'm seeing are energized fragments of the total fabric that he sees?
Correct. And we'll say that on an 18, you actually do come across almost like the trough in the weave that you saw what had you stopped on the road to, outside of Moss Hollow, where it should be a riverbed. And you all can all see this now, that it's almost like a riverbed in the weave itself. It's this curving, huge, long, almost like the horizon, curved pathway. And Iskrin, that's where you sort of look down and go, there should be magic flowing in that. And you see where magic basically is, instead of running in it, is just being pulled out of it over the banks and sucked towards the vice, instead of following the knife's curve that's sort of going in this area almost like north-south. And magic is sort of like jumping the track, so to speak, and being sucked towards the vice. Think of it as like an old-fashioned water slide that were just made out of concrete. Water's not flowing in it. It's like basically rushing over the side and being pulled towards the vice.
Brutal. Yeah, so
Kel says, continuing what he was saying before, about seeing, having the visions, and then he will say, I've also been seeing lines, strands of different energy, I guess. I'm seeing some of what you're seeing, but not all of it. Can we say some line of nature goes by?
Sure.
And I'll point that out and say, there, I see the nature. Did you saw it? Yes?
Of course. I can only show you just a small segment, but...
Well, I'm seeing, I guess, a smaller segment of what you're seeing if you're showing us what you see. But I've been... And I haven't been trusting it, because the first time I encountered it and was trying to figure out what it was, we were attacked by the hounds. We were attacked because I wasn't paying attention. Because I was distracted by trying to understand what I was beginning to see. But I know, because it's happened a couple of times since, that if I'm near them, I can tap into and use those lines of energy.
Can I make an Arcana check after hearing him say that to like try and understand what he means by that. And as I'm thinking, I go, Kel, you're muted.
How you would perceive it, it makes sense with him being the anchor that he is, and knowing that nature is pretty much the combined weaves of earth, fire, air, and water. You know, it sort of is how those combine. Him being an anchor almost makes him like, I'll call it a lightning rod, that, you know, he would be able to redirect them using his just, you know, the way that his magic deforms the nature weave so completely, just like, again, in the theory of relativity and space-time, he can bend the magics around him.
This is an incredible revelation. And I'm just like, Kel, that never, to my knowledge, should never happen within the sphere. There is no, all my time, Lyle confirmed this, but through all of my times, I think, I'm not too sure, but that is incredible for an inhabitant of the sphere, of a sphere, to be able to see or do that and manipulate like that. You tug on the strings, you essentially all air, fire, earth, water combined into nature, and they pool around you. You are an anchor. You are depth in the weave. Make such a strong impact. This is incredible. You shouldn't be able to do this, but you can, and now you can see it. If you ever see it again, if it ever pops up in your dreams, please tell me, write this down, because this is very strange, and I'm very excited for you. And
It's not just the elements, though, because during the fight, when we first met you, I sensed the dark energy as well, and was able to use that.
Death, not dark. So,
well, I know that, but
right.
This is Kel talking.
I know. Yeah. No. Yeah. Okay. That's cool. No. I saw his face. I'm like, oh, if he thinks that you're talking about chaos. But go ahead.
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah. Sorry.
Kel is,
yeah. Sorry.
And I have seen light energy as well, glowing gold. I haven't trusted it. I've kind of avoided it, tried not to see it, because seeing it distracted me and caused us to be in a terrible situation that could have been avoided if I had been on guard as I should have been. But seeing this, seeing now how you see and what this all means, I think maybe with your help, I can learn more.
Always, if you ever see it, any questions about it at all, if it ever happens again, talk to me. I'll be able to show you whatever I can, whatever I know, whatever Lyle knows.
I don't know if you can, but if there's any way you can help me to see it more clearly. One of the reasons I was distracted is that it's always just out of the corner of my eye, like a mirage. And if I turn to look and focus, it disappears. It's always just on the edge of my perception, on the brink of seeing but not seeing. I don't know how else to say it. It's every time I try and if I know it's there and try and look at it, it slips away.
That's another sort of sense. We've developed a natural sense for the weave. That's incredible.
It is in fact very rare. In all of the realms, all the spheres.
Ishrid's going to hold Lyle up by the handle, so the blade is facing down, but the blade is flat, so you can, and then hold it out towards Kel. And as he does so, he'll say, if we can figure this out, it'll be one less mystery and one less of a burden. We can figure out this sense. I want to figure it out. This is incredible. It then looks over at Celia and goes, you were incredible, and now Luna's incredible, and now you're incredible. This is getting weird. Then looks over at Iskra and just goes, music, incredible. Also, dancing's a cool thing as well, I've learned.
Kel looks confused.
Then he'll shake his head and get back on track, and then realize, hold Lyle. Lyle, if there is anything you can tell him or advise me on, because this is dumbfounding.
So Lyle will chime in and go, he can talk to you. Yeah, you at this point, you can, if you'd like, you can hold him, but he's talked to you before without y'all being in direct contact.
Okay.
It is indeed very rare. And you said the dark energy and then a golden energy. It's interesting. The weave is made up of the cardinal magics and then the combined magics. Fire, water, earth, air, into nature. Life, death, order, chaos, into divine. Divine is usually seen as gold, a golden light, whereas life is a pure white light. Death, as you say, black. Order is interesting. People see it different ways, sometimes red, sometimes orange. Even heard of people seeing it as blue. Chaos, most often purple. A dark radiance, similar to what you saw emanating from Celia. The fact that you are a nature anchor, but still are able to manipulate the others, in fact, even potentially the other anchor magic as well, as I said, was quite rare. It is the mark of greatness. Undecided, great things can happen that are both terrible and wonderful. But it is interesting. What else perhaps you are anchoring? I can help you, though, potentially to be able to see more clearly. It will take time, and we've certainly picked the wrong space for it. You might find yourself seeing more than you want to see the closer we get to this vice, this anomaly, whether you want to see it or not.
I think whether I want to see it or not, I have to see it. The more I see, the more I can help and protect.
This will be looking into a maelstrom, however. For someone just learning, it could be overwhelming, but certainly with my help, perhaps we can make it less so. I'm glad that you told us about this before we got closer, so that we wouldn't discover it before it was too late to prepare your mind for and senses for what's to come.
I didn't know what it was, and I didn't trust it. But now knowing what it is, and with your help in Iskrin's, hopefully I can learn to do more than just let things happen to me.
We'll all be here for you to help you get through this. Me and Lyle will try our best. Absolutely.
Just tell me what I need to do and I'll do it.
I've been doing this for a while. For a long while, last 70 so years. And it wasn't until the other day I realized I gotta stop doing that. You made a mistake. You can't let that distraction. He said, don't beat yourself up over it, Kel. It's okay. We all make mistakes. I know I have. I have screwed up big time.
That's the truth. Here's Lyle kick in.
There's a roll of the eyes. So much so, you've probably seen Puska, as I gestured to the cat. The bobcat-sized cat is like sitting basically on his lap as well, laying across it.
Yes, we spoke.
You what?
We spoke?
Speak to cats?
Well, I speak to dogs, so yes. Animals, nature thing. Kind of what I do.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I heard you barking earlier, it was weird. I was intrigued, but nature with...
I was just talking to Grain.
Oh. Well then.
I was helping Grain and Luck have a conversation. It was mostly about bacon.
I knew I liked that dog.
Ow! He's going to look at you and just go, still, yeah, you made a mistake. I've made a mistake. I rescued a cat from a about to be destroyed sphere. And in that, I may have broken the rules and came to this sphere, and maybe with one too many people in the ring, but here we are. I know I'm going to be in a lot of trouble if I can ever commune with the Frost Prince. But there's been some serious revelations made here as well from Jesters Up to the Sky, Neverwings up there, recovering this damn astrolabe, this astrosphere. Impressive though it is, and very pretty lights. To even the Dark Empress being here, this is going to be a very interesting report. But yeah, I don't know what will happen if that report ever gets made. It could be dangerous. It could be very bad for me, maybe people around me, but I don't know. The Frost Prince is very cold sometimes. Sometimes, most of the time, nearly always.
Hence the name.
Yeah.
Wait, people around you?
The gods, archfey gods, they're unpredictable. I don't know. I haven't talked to him in a while, and I can't. It could happen. Let's just note it down as a possibility. Let's just not skim everything and think everything will be fine. It usually never is. Don't listen to me when I say it's fine.
Well, tonight, when we camp, would you like to talk to the cat?
Can I talk to him now?
Sure. And I will, speak with animals on myself again and translate for Iskrin and the cat.
Hi.
Hello. Finally remembered that I was inside. I see.
Couple of days ago, yeah. It took a little bit of my own self breaking into pieces and realigning into other people, but it's okay. How are you? Are you okay with? I'm sorry, I have forgotten about you, basically.
Well rested.
I
At
can
least
see
not
that.
not dead.
Yeah, how do you feel about? There's a lot to take in. You are actually in another sphere. If that makes sense.
I assume so when you had visitors inside the ring.
Yes, of course. Yeah, I'm sorry for forgetting you, but you just, I don't want to say you remind me of my failures, but...
But I do. That's fine. Take your own advice. You just told your friend. Mistakes are made. Move forward.
Can I pat you?
Behind the left ear, please. Oh, there you go. Ooh, not there. Not okay. There it is.
All right. Okay.
Typical cat. We're done now.
It's like, I thank you. I appreciate you. I do think you are the fluffiest thing I've ever seen.
I thank you for saving me. And I know you tried to save my sphere. It was quite heroic what you did there at the end.
What did I do? This is a new form. I can't remember it.
It's a story for another time.
There's a bit of a face palm. It's just like, I have all the time in the world for stories. And I'm just gonna look at Cal. I'm just gonna put my hand on his shoulder and just say thank you. Everything. And I've got to realize the same thing. I've got to stop letting my failures get in the way. But you have a here to save, man. Well, elf, you're not a man at all. You're an elf. But yes, you yeah.
I point to Luck. He's a man.
Yes, that.
I'm
Yes,
an elf.
that's man. That's man. That's man. Bacon man. He makes bacon. Gotta remember. And yeah, but yeah.
Okay. So yeah, Kel and the cat and Iskrin go on for a little bit. We're totally modifying this spell so that you can cast it on others. It's like we're about to make that canon that you can cast it on other people, so we don't have to play the whole translation game, just to make it easier. And like I was to say, that I'm not too concerned about that being game breaking. That you can, seeing as we started off with being that you cast it on Luck. So, well, I guess I'll allow it. So yeah, you guys, anyone else's reaction to all of this? We'll basically say that sort of blasts us through to the end of the day, through the duration, unless there's anything that people want to take care of or say that they've taken care of. Yeah, Axel, you get I forgot, did I tell everyone about, or did I just tell you about Axel's interesting purchase of getting the library box? I knew I told you, I can't remember if I told the whole stream. So anyway, yep. So you a new book comes in around noon. Funny, it seems like these are somewhat attuned to whatever's on your mind a little bit.
Who's this Stephen King?
What is he king of?
H.P. Lovecraft.
But
he sort of flicks through this book. Hey, SK, you should come read this. This is about what the Tuscan Isles. You know, the islands, and they sort of got a bit of the history, and they one of the gods is called the Veiled Maiden. It's just to come here, look.
Oh yeah, she's all about it. She like rushes next to you to read more.
Yeah, so you read about this. It's an ancient civilization. Most of it, the Tuscan Isles, are ruins, old statues. Iskrin, you are close by with some of this. If you didn't check your notes before, roll back through your notes. And this book is talking about this ancient civilization called the Lutuxan Isles, near this big port city called Valiskia. And Iskrin, you hear them talking about this, and after the revelation of the word written on the ceiling, you chime in with some of your observations from Moss Hollow.
That place, that sad, horrible place. There was like a magical taste throughout it.
Yeah, you saw the guy casting it, channeling a higher magic near the edge of town, if you recall.
That caster, the one in the robes, I want his head. He channeled the weave in such a way that was so heavy he could push. It was pushing. It pushed. It pushed through the weave. Basically freeing it from time. It was basically Iska playing. It just manipulated and wronged it. that place. Does anybody who knows the most about it? I want to go there. Ow!
Cat.
Yeah.
Yeah. What?
That's a full jaw.
That's a full jaw, deep
Yeah.
in.
Oh god.
Feed me, human.
Yeah.
He's
So
been fed.
as he says that, you know, the idea of ideas, information being pushed through the weave and spread through time itself, that this revelation that was made at the time when that obscuring weight was placed so that divination magic wouldn't work for people to be able to see what really happened at Moss Hollow. Something got pushed through. An idea.
Ideas are powerful. Any thought could become the next main strand of life weave, the next strand of death weave. An idea from Kel could basically erupt the anchor underneath him from nature. These get blown, pushed through time. However this affects us all. This is not good. Veilsilka?
Veliskia.
Veliskia. Thank you. Veliskia.
What was the name of the goddess again, Axel?
The Veiled Maiden. So yeah, and yeah,
Yes.
you count the maiden. That's Veiled Iska. Veiliska.
You're not wearing a veil, but that's good.
Well, it's a shrouded star.
It's all connected.
He's going to look. Can we currently like see stars? Are we going too fast? Or, like, it's daytime.
Yeah, it's daytime. Or
Regardless.
we can, you know, it quickly
Regardless.
becomes night, yes.
He will point up to the blue sky that's zooming past clouds.
Yeah,
going
actually,
by.
you probably do know where the stars are.
Yeah, he would say the sphere's gems. That one up there, just pointing directly up to the left a little bit, and then back towards them. That one there, the Veiled Maiden, and just points out into the sky.
Do me another intelligence and arcana check.
How? How?
Yeah, he points to the sky with no other insight.
How? When did the Day of Blood happen? How long ago? Axel, do you know how long exactly that happened?
I can tell you if you don't know off the top of your head. Because Axel would know.
Yeah, I don't know off the top of my head. Yeah.
The Day of Blood happened 51 years ago. I'm sorry. I gotta do the math. It happened in year 51. Stand by. 21 years ago.
and you said something came through.
Something came through what? Time?
It can happen.
Absolutely can.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, if something was pushed through, if something could move through with that, if something, when the weave opens, and this is...
That's bad. That's really bad.
Sorry, I need to take a second. Iska's 21, so...
I figured.
That's a lot to... I don't know how to process this in character as I'm processing it in real life. So Iska, like, silently just kind of pointing between the two of you and then, like, to her, and her mind's blown.
Ishgrin has no idea of space and time, really. 21 years is nothing, apparently. She's like, what? What's 21 years?
No. More to the life of an altitude.
If it happened 21 years ago, if something pushed through and that my name connected to all this now, and the veil, the shroud, the sisters is... What if it's me? This all sets up everything meant to be. Everything. Oh God, this is a lot.
Do you want to sit at the foot of the couch with me? This is the no think so. It's a place for people who don't want to have to worry about this, or just don't understand it. It's great.
I think next up I'm going to show you the wave. It's just going to be a wonderful moment between us.
Iskrin, have you ever drowned before?
Yes, 3 times. Attempted.
Muted.
Yeah, you're muted if you're saying something else.
Oh, wait, I did?
No.
No.
It's Kaya.
Yeah, he just goes, like he paces together and goes, wait, drowning? You gonna drown me?
You are mortal.
I realize that. Luna, you want to know whether the Seer gem?
No.
No? For reference, it's that way. Points towards the sun. It's just behind. It's just by next to the bigger. Okay. Fine.
Give Iska some time to process, and leave luck to his no thinking zone.
I think I just want to sit and read for a second.
And we will all let you do so.
And she just wants to read the book Axel gave her, really unable to fully process and comprehend this. This is... every time I start getting a handle on her world, it's upended again and again.
Welcome to the Vice.
Welcome to the Vice.
And now learning that, she's maybe just a concept that came through.
You just a thing of mine.
Before she starts really reading wherever she's sitting, Kel will go over as she sits and basically sit in her lap, and then, as he did earlier on, he will slowly turn into a squirrel just so she can watch.
And that's when this like look of just panic and perplexion fades a bit. Deep breath. Scritch, scritch.
I turn around and kind of tickle her nose with my tail. And then climb up on her shoulder and tickle her ear with my tail. And then just kind of sit there.
And she reads. But it's that like fading in and out of reading and just thinking.
I mean, you're picking up bits and pieces. It seems to be some sort of... it talks about this veiled maiden who... being a port city, seems to be connected somehow to the seas and good fortune. And it's interesting. There is a worship of her, or a reverence to her about people who do survive like drowning, that when people who are found lifeless, but who are somehow revived through a series. It's think of it almost as a CPR-esque type idea of rescuing people, and that they become there's sort of this belief that she has brought them back and that it's the work of the Veiled Maiden.
Before we move on, I need to speak with you all about the Vice. Is everyone around?
Yeah.
Okay.
At Mims, I saw one of them again, one of the sisters, and she, yeah. I'm sorry, Luck. The no think zone is on hiatus for a second. She explained that the Vice, the fates, the tapestry of the fates, fortunes and lives, it's not so strong in there as it is out here. That it can be bent, it can be rethreaded, it can be undone.
That's a really bad needle work, if that's the case.
Agreed. She explained to me that there was a bigger plan for all of us, that we all needed to make it through the Vice, that in there, if anything happened to anyone, there was a way to bring them back, just like in these legends of the Veiled Lady, the Veiled Maiden. I could do that. If things go bad in there, it can be undone. That death can be undone and overwritten in there. A redo, if you will.
I'm not sure.
That I could undo death within the Vice.
I imagine at quite a high price.
Fortune must be balanced with misfortune. Undoing fate comes at a cost. We can live, you can be brought back, but you cannot be the same. I saw glimpses of what could happen, that undoing this could... saw Celia disfigured. I saw Axel with the light gone from his eyes, and he just looked reduced. And I saw Kel, and she kind of looks with this look of like absolute sadness at you, and Luck, and this look of like horror on her face. All of this could happen to any of us if I have to do that in there, but herein lies the problem. If it was up to me, if I could pay the price, I would. But I,
No.
as the singer of Fates, am not affected by this. I need you all to know we must do what we can to survive in there, to not rely on this, because doing so radically changes one of your lives, not mine. I beg of you, don't let me do this. Don't let me become this, as she points to the book with the Veiled Maiden in it. I can't ask any of you to change your fates for the sake of this. Please, we must be smart. We must move smart. We must survive in there. I wanted you all to know before we moved forward.
Iska, you can everyone can survive many different things. Things happen, you move forward. You cannot control it. If it happens, it happens. It's not your fault or anyone else's. We'll have to live with that. Different is better than dead.
Do you all feel that way?
I'm sorry, no. If I die, leave me die. Dead. I don't want to come back as anything but me. I don't want to come back if I have changed. I already fear change enough as it is.
I change all the time when I came back, but I don't think if I die, I think that's it. I don't think there'd be a strand of energy of wave power left in my existence. I have no idea what's going to happen. This is going to be interesting.
You're assuming that the one who is brought back will pay the price. That is not necessarily the case.
It's not. Any one of you, no matter who is brought back and how many are brought back, I don't know who's affected, who gets affected. It's chance. That's why I need to know from each of you if you're okay with it or not, before I ever even consider doing it. But again, I'm telling you now, I don't want this. And she will actually like throw the book down, like on the ground.
Kel will jump off of Iska's shoulder and move to an open spot and turn back into himself and say, if something happens to one of us, you may not have to do anything. It hasn't really come up, but something similar was given to me earlier in our journey. I have yet to attempt it, but I know that I have the ability. It's something that comes from nature, not from fate. And it does bear the chance of the person who dies coming back changed in some way. And it will take a great toll on me. But if one of us falls, I can attempt to do something about it.
Not just you. I can. There's a combination of runes to turn back time on one that is someone dead, on turning. Yeah. I haven't tried it, and well, I have tried it, but it didn't work because there was no time to turn it back because your soul wasn't there. But I can try it if we have time. If I can, we don't need to rely on that. But change is always happens. It's inevitable. And sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. But I'm not afraid of change. Just so you know. But in the end, it's, you know, if you're turning back the fates, that doesn't really matter if we're not fated to die. We're all, you know, we're all prepared and ready. Then it's not our fate to die in life. So we can do this. We can get through. We can stay safe.
It seems we have many avenues available to us. Worry about it when the time comes. It will come down to chance who can do what. That's all we have.
Death may not be your fate, or mine, or Luna's, or any of ours. If death happens, perhaps part of the fate, part of the line of fate is our coming back.
I guess it's been done before.
Yes, it has. And I step forward and I hug her.
I'm sorry,
No, shh, stop. It will all be well. We'll get through it. We'll find a way. We have up till now, somehow. Despite everything going wrong and nothing working out the way we intended, we're still here now in this moment, moving forward. And I hug her again more tightly.
She hugs back and thanks you. I just, hearing this and coming about this way, and everything that's happened, it's hard to tell if I'm a person or if I'm a tool, if I'm just living to do this, if I am choosing to do any of it, if I'm more than just what they want me to be.
You are no tool. A tool wouldn't question if they were a tool or not. A tool wouldn't look at their situation and wonder if they are being used. A tool is oblivious. They are inanimate, unfeeling. They're useful, yes, but they're stupid. And I, for one, know you are not stupid. You are smart. You plan. You think carefully. That's a quality not of a tool. And if you are being used by forceful means, then. I think a very harsh lesson is to be taught. There's no one to be used as a tool. Never.
And think of this. Even if you are being used, you're being used, we're all being used to save the world. How can we complain about that if the alternative is the end of all we know?
Would you all like to see the end of the last sphere I came from?
Iskrin, we're talking about the possibility of us dying when we come to the Vice, if we wish to be changed or be left alone, and you want to talk about the end of a sphere!
That's a good point.
Kel says, I've seen it.
And with that look of Iskrin over to Kel, we're going to end our session.
Iskrin's gonna be dead before we get to the Vice. He's gonna be dead.
Luna is going to kill him.
You're being kept alive by shipping purposes only.
If Celia wasn't around, you would be dead.
I already am dead.
I did want to finish off by telling him the cat showed me.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Sorry, yeah.
That works out. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Aww.
Aww. Isn't it a cute little death machine?
Yeah. It currently has knives in my gut. It's great.
Yay! Anyway, folks, hope you all had a great time this week. We know it was big time RP heavy, but trust me, we've only got about probably half a session or one more session before it's going to be combat all the time, because we're probably going to be in the Vice probably within maybe into next session even. So we'll see how this all.
Just in time for the 1-year anniversary of Old City.
I know, right? Yes.
That timing.
Right? Imagine that.
Wow.
Imagine that. How did that work out?
The Vice happens on the
Stop
1-year anniversary.
planning stuff behind our back, Jay.
See, no. It'll be perfect, because we're going into, theoretically, another shopping episode. We'll throw off this whole timeline.
Yes!
I was gonna say you're going into a gifting episode, not a shopping episode.
Well, at this point, yeah.
Anyway, let's go around and see what everyone thought of today's session. We will start with Templar Warden. You are muted.
No, muted.
There you go.
Yeah, no, I was
Playing
kind
along.
of many revelations and plot points and existential questions on fate and death, etc., etc. This is all wonderful and thought-provoking, and it's just great that we can have this in this game. I am Templar Warden. You may find me anywhere on the internet at Templar. Well, Templar Warden is pretty much my handle on anywhere on the internet. You may also call me Rainer Templar on Twitter. And you will be catching me here next week.
Yep, with more fun and excitement. I was gonna say, y'all, Axel did good this time. Boy, you nailed a lot of stuff. So let's go to Dragons Are Cats. Iskrin.
Hi everyone, and I am so sorry I was late.
It's fine.
I slashed through so many alarms, but it's okay. Thank you. This was a wonderful session as well. Thank you for your patience and time. We're dealing with 3 natural ones in a row. No, is it 3? No, 2.
2 critical. I mean, truly 2. Oh, let's open up the world a little bit further. Oh, nope, never mind. Iskrin screwed it up. I was gonna say, what is it? Your flaw is I make everything worse for myself.
I make everything bad for myself.
There you go.
Despite his best effort, he makes things worse for himself.
Yes. But anyway, always a pleasure. I really liked the scenes that you put together today. That was nice. Very cool.
Well, thank you.
And with that, we'll jump to the other part of your scenes with Tunarth. I love your that interaction was really cool, kind of opening up things for our buddy Kel.
Well, we're heading into crunch time, and as he's discovering there's more than he knew about what he knew, it's like, okay, this is information that's important for all of us, not just me. So, anyway, I'm Tunarth here in chat. I'm Colin65 on Twitter. I am here playing this amazing game, which, wow.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing at how Good Guy Pie got frozen.
No, he's actually not frozen.
Oh, look at that.
And then, of course, we've got Dungeons and Coffees tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Eastern to follow up from this.
Yep, we sure do.
And then I'm also playing on Sunday afternoons, same Vice time, 2 p.m. Eastern, for T. Fredrickson, the 80s game Esla, The Power Within, where NNG9 and I play very different characters, and Claudia's brother's a dick.
There you go. And
that's my hashtag.
Our local mannequin, Good Guy Pie.
Hello, welcome to the No Think Zone, where we just shut down for a while because that's too complicated, really. So, a bit of a shame that it was destroyed near the end of it, but you know, sometimes you've actually got to do some thinking about the big world. But it was fun. Everything's big. The world is big. Lots of people are important, and I'm just happy to be here. You know, I'm Good Guy Pie, your most humble, residential, wonderful man of wonderful velocity. You can catch me at Too Good To Guy on the tweeters. You can catch me at Good Guy Pie on the Twitches. And yeah, well, you know, working on my own custom system, Rattlers engine, early alpha build of playtesting, which is going very well. I have learned that giving someone 4d6 per round of a machine gun damage does not work very well, which really...
Yeah, that's probably not a good thing.
Yeah, so that got nerfed, and some other things got nerfed.
There you go.
There you go. And that's me.
Cool. NNG9, Luna.
Hello, I am NNG9 on Twitch, where I play video games and swear a whole bunch, and NNG9 on Twitter, where I just live tweet random things, repost Fun of the Week when I remember to, and just general whatever. I liked today's section. I thought
it was dude, I was getting goosebumps because it's like, oh my god, they're putting the story together.
Part of my favorite part was just seeing your face, just like, no, must not show joy at puzzle resolution. But no, that was good. Iskrin's gonna be dead before we get to the Vice.
And there you go. And
also, I'm a player in Team Fredrickson's game as well on Sundays, 2 p.m. Eastern Time, DNC, 8 o'clock, and yeah, Random Blue Stream. Check out the Twitter. Thank you.
And yeah, nothing happened at all to Iska during this episode. To tell us all about it is Bird vs. Plane.
Oh god, I'm Bird vs. Plane. I stream games on Twitch occasionally. I am on Twitter. Sorry for if I provided any lulls today. I was very overwhelmed with a lot of the revelations, and legitimately, every time I think I understand this character, and so now I'm coming to grips with the idea that maybe she is just an idea made manifest, and that's a weird existential crisis to fall down into now. Every time I think she's got it under control. We can discuss more on DNC tomorrow, but man, a lot happened this time. Over and over again.
Yay, story. Anyway, I am Tall Squall. You can find me here on Saturdays at 2 o'clock, DMing this incredible cast who just makes my life way too easy and a joy when I get to just sit back and watch them actually, put pieces together and be like, but wait, that's you. No, wait, that's you. Oh my gosh, does that mean? Yep. Tink. It was awesome. I had a great time watching you guys puzzle through things that I have been knitting and weaving away at for the last year. We are coming up on our 1-year anniversary of our first sort of pre-episode, Old Sooty, over on Encounter Roleplay, so that's kind of cool. Our what was going to be our 8-session campaign. Anyway... you can also find me in just 1 hour over on the D&D channel playing Learn by Play. You can hear me on Turncloaks, which usually drops on Mondays or Tuesdays, just sort of depending on how it comes up, playing Alistair. And then on Tuesday nights on Encounter Roleplay, doing the Long March. Lately, you also can be finding me on WoW. Golly, I got sucked back in because fall smells like WoW. I don't know why, it just does. That's just one of my things. I started playing 10 years ago in the fall, and so as soon as the weather changes and that nice crisp autumn air, which just is now happening in Florida, all of a sudden it's like, it's time to play WoW again. And so yeah, I've been doing that. And we are going to raid Foxin' and a Boxin' as our raid right after this. But until next time, gather your all's friends together and tell a story. And that's what is all that matters, folks. Have a good one out there. And come raid Foxin' and a Boxin'. Later.
Hello.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.